guys, so we are back with another reading. This one is how are they feeling, what are they thinking, and what's going on between you guys. So we're going to start with 1 being blue, 2 being pink, 3 is yellow, and 4 is purple. So I'm going to be quiet now and just let you tune into the energies and feel which one is right for you. Okay, so hopefully you had time to decide. If not, you can always rewind and then pause and spend a little more time deciding. But we're going to go ahead and jump into pile 1. So pile 1, you guys picked this beautiful, I don't know what it is, blueberry, blackberry cupcake. So let's get into your reading. I pre-pulled some cards as I like to do. So you guys got the 3 of Pentacles, the 9 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, the Magician, the King of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. So first of all, there's a lot of sexual attraction in this reading. There's a lot of sexual attraction. And this person, I feel, feels, you know, that there's like a lot of conflict surrounding this relationship. I don't know if, you know, you had like other people into you or if there was fighting within your relationship, but I get also an emotion coming through of just like sadness for how things went down. I feel like this person is really kind of regretting everything that happened, and possibly trying to manifest you. So I pulled some more cards. You guys got the 7 of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Fool reversed, and the 5 of Chalices. So yeah, I feel like this is something that didn't work out like it should have, is what I'm hearing from this person. Let me put down the other cards. You guys got the Queen of Swords reversed, the 5 of Swords reversed. Did I say Queen of Swords? I meant Queen of Wands. The 5 of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands, and the Chariot. So I do feel like this person, you know, wants to come forward and they're kind of battling with themselves of should I? They, you know, whatever conflict is going on, whether it's there was a third party or there was some kind of jealousy happening or there were other men interested, or there was another person that you were having to battle against. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of conflict surrounding this relationship, and I just feel like this person is dealing with a lot of regret. They really feel like they missed their opportunity, you know. I can feel like their sadness and their regret over the situation, like, wow, what did I do? And I think that they thought that you guys were supposed to be together, but now it's a situation where they're just kind of like, I really messed up. I really messed this situation up, and now, like, what do I do? I think this person, you know, I think in a way, not a surprise to get that card, you triggered a lot of things that this person wasn't expecting or had never really dealt with in their life. I think sometimes when you have, especially like a soulmate connection or a like soul contract connection, a lot of times that triggers up issues that need to be brought up, but it's really painful. And I think that's what was going on with this person. Like I said, there's the desire for action, but there's also like this fantasy that you're gonna act on it, you know, and that you're gonna be the one to like text them, call them, whatever. I just feel like this person almost feels depressed. I think that they regret whatever happened between you guys, and they're, you know, they kind of want to like almost ask for forgiveness. I think this person is dealing with a lot, and you brought up a lot of pain for them, and they're feeling kind of hopeless, you know, but I think you're like this beacon in their life that makes them feel like, okay, maybe I can get through the day, maybe I can do this. You were like this bright spot to them that, you know, meant so much to them, and now it's just a lot of regret, a lot of feeling like, wow, I really bungled this up. And I mean, could we get any more negative cards? Okay, we ended with positive movement forward. I do think ultimately this is a really hard period for them, but I think ultimately this person is going to benefit from it, you know, and there is going to be some positive momentum and stuff. But I think that this person is just really regretting kind of how they chose to interact with you. I think that there might have been fighting or arguing between the two of you, or it just might have been that there was a competitive aspect around you. So that could have been other people. You know, it could have been that you had other men interested in you and this person shied away from it because of that. Or it could have been that they had other women interested in them. And sorry, I slip into, you know, the gendered when I'm channeling. So switch around the pronouns if you have to. But yeah. This person, I just feel like there was conflict, there was competition, and it's almost like they couldn't handle it. But yeah, you guys have kind of a soul connection, a mental connection. I do think this person, you know, ultimately is trying to manifest you and does contact you, and you probably feel their emotions. Like, in a way, everything I'm saying is probably nothing new to you. You're like, oh yeah, I already knew all this. Like, because I think that you guys have a psychic telepathic connection where you can feel what they're feeling and they can feel what you're feeling, and they think about you a lot. I think that you are a source of strength to them. You are a source of you know, happiness in like a life that they feel like is so hard right now. They feel like losing you was like losing everything, you know? It just is like this huge loss to them, and I think that they didn't realize how upset they were going to be about it at the time. And now that they've lost you, it's like it's finally them realizing how special this connection was, and that it's not going to come around again with just some, you know, any old person. I think they maybe thought like, well, yeah, I really like her, but, you know, there's plenty of fish in the sea, or there's other girls, I'm going to feel this way. There was, like I said, there's this aspect of conflict hanging around this relationship. And so I think that it might have been a situation where you guys were arguing or fighting or something, or had some kind of stalemate in like your communication, where it wasn't just like you guys were friendly and chatty and it never worked out and everything was good. There was something going on that was some kind of conflict, whether that was, like I said, a stalemate and you guys just were kind of not talking, but it was not like a peaceful not talking, like two friends that just, you know, just kind of like don't talk for a couple weeks, but everything's good, and you text each other at the end like a meme and everyone's laughing. It was like there was no contact, and it was kind of like on purpose. It's kind of hard or harsh, something like, you know, it ended on a bad note, or there was supposed to be a response, but, you know, one person ignored the other. There's something like that going on. And so this person regrets how they handled it. They also kind of feel like you didn't handle it the best, to be honest. Like you were they feel like, and this is their judgment of things and they might be wrong, they feel like you might have been overly harsh with them, I think, and they're kind of almost like licking their wounds. But for the most part, I think that they, you know, they are asking for forgiveness. They feel like they mishandled it and they feel like they could have reacted differently to it. I think that, you know, they never felt so strongly about anyone like they did you, and it scared them and it made them react probably not the best, because they were like, what are these feelings and where did they come from? And I've never, like, it scared them, and I think they thought like, let me run away from this, and now they're like, oh, well, that didn't work and it totally backfired and actually I feel worse. But this is like a deep soul connection. I think you guys were supposed to come into each other's lives to help bring out those kind of like childhood wounds almost. This is like a deep union, and I also think that you guys have such a strong sexual attraction to each other, and a lot of it is ordained by spirit to have that deep sexual attraction, because it's like that's one thing that keeps this person coming back. It's like it's bad enough to lose the connection that you guys had, but then they also just are so physically attracted to you that it like makes it even worse. It's like it just rubs salt in the wound, you know? Like they feel like maybe I could like get over her if it was just one or the other. If it was just like she's so hot, but we didn't have that much of a spiritual connection, or like we get along so well and I feel this connection, but you know, she's not the best looking or whatever. But unfortunately, in their mind, it's unfortunate. It's both. And that's something that makes them really hard to just move on and like come to it from kind of a like, okay, I'll be fine. It's time to get over her and it's not a big deal. This person is unable to do it because they have such a deep sexual connection to you, and they have so much sexual desire for you. But I think that sexual desire is also what led to this conflict and kind of miscommunication. There's a lot of fire in this relationship. There's a lot of sexuality in this relationship, but sometimes that can be too much energy, you know what I mean? Like it can be too fiery, it can be too consuming. You know, a fire is nice and warm, but it can burn down a house pretty quick. And I think that's kind of what happened. Like the house got burnt down, you know what I mean? It was just, there was so much. I feel like in a way this person, like I said, you bring out that energy of them. You bring out the sexuality and the fire and the attraction. And while that's a good thing, it also made them act really hastily. I almost feel like they got into like a frenzy when they were around you, where you might have been like, well, can you slow down? Or like, can we put a pause on this? And this person's like, no, like, because they want to sleep with you so much. I think they fantasize about you a lot. I don't know if you guys have slept together or you didn't sleep together, but I think that that's something this person really wants and fantasizes about a lot, whether that's reminiscing about the past and replaying maybe memories in their mind, or just fantasizing out of the blue. This person really does dream about you in a very sexual way and think about you. And I think that's one of the reasons why they haven't been able to move on, even though they've tried so hard, is just that this sexual, like overwhelming attraction for you keeps them coming back. But they're kind of, it's like this opposing energy between being so sexually fiery and turned on for you and then feeling so depressed and so sad and like zapped of energy, you know? And I think that it's like I said, it's like a fire that burned itself out. It's almost like if you've ever seen a little kid running around on a playground and it gets out all, it's like screaming and climbing up things and running and so much energy. And then it's like after it gets out the energy on the car ride home, it's like completely asleep. I used to do that when I was babysitting. I would make the kids run like relay races that I would make up, and they had a huge basement. And so they'd have to jump over things and like climb up stuff. And then they slept so well that night. It was crazy. It was like they were just out for good. And their parents were like, how do you get them to sleep so well? No one else can get them to sleep. And I was like, I don't know what it is, but it was the relay race. And I think that that's like the situation going on here, kind of like this person had so much sexual desire for you. And I think that they also like played out fantasies in their mind of how things were going to go, kind of like, well, when we are together, we'll be having morning sex and we'll go here and we'll do that. And when my parents meet her, they're going to think this and blah, blah, blah. And so when that didn't work out, it was like they had so much energy that they had poured into it, like mental and almost physical energy, because I do think that they have been, how do I put this, like PG, like I said, sexually fantasizing. And if it's a guy, you know, doing certain things that go along with sexual fantasies physically, when a guy's alone and sexually fantasizing, if that makes sense. So that's like actual physical energy, and they expended a lot of energy thinking about you all the time, that it's almost like they don't have anything left, you know? They put it all out there. They put everything towards you, and now it didn't work out, and now it's like this huge loss. I feel like this person just feels like they took a major L, and I do think that sometimes they kind of mentally blame you of like, she could have handled it better, or she was mean to me, or whatever. They really just feel like they're so upset that it didn't work out, that I think that they go back and forth in their mind between taking responsibility and beating themselves up, and then trying to blame anyone else, including you. And I think that it's like, because they have so much obsession and love for you, that now it's like it's almost backfiring. That love they have for you, they sometimes get into a negative space, because it's almost like someone who had their favorite toy taken away or something. They just feel so upset that you're not with them, you know? So I feel like they're almost trying to blame anyone, including you. I pre-pulled, because this one's hard to shuffle, I had pre-pulled these cards. So from this deck, you guys got Choose Love, New Love reversed. Oh, are these all reversed? Wait, I think this one was reversed. Choose Love was reversed. Be willing to express love. Love is all around you, and New Love. So yeah, I think this is, so we had a bunch of cards also that there's so much coming through that like I kind of cover the main stuff, but there's other things that I meant to mention. One being that I think this person dreams a lot about you reaching out to them, or about running into you in public. Like, I think that they're kind of, like I said, they feel so beaten up and beaten down by this situation, and I feel like it's put them in such a negative mindset that they don't have the energy left to like reach out to you. You know what I mean? Like, they are in such a negative mental state right now, because I think that it's like, I don't know what it is, but I just had that vision in my mind from a movie. I don't remember what movie, but of a guy just telling this woman like so sadly, I can't even imitate the voice, but like, you broke my heart. You broke it. And it's like, oh, that's from Sex and the City. I think it's Aiden talking to Carrie. They keep replaying that on TV, and I guess it comes through in these readings a lot, because there's a lot of like messages from that shows so much about love. But like, yeah, like he's like, you broke my heart, Carrie, and he's like really upset. And I feel like that's what this person is saying kind of to you. Like, it's like they feel like this relationship almost, and I don't mean to be like harsh, but I feel this is what they are thinking, has done like irreparable damage to them. You know what I mean? They're so upset right now. Like, this is just a huge loss for them. Their heart is just, it feels broken to them. And of course, time heals all wounds, and you don't need to feel guilty, I don't think, unless you did something really mean. But I mean, this person still loves you, so I would assume, I'm not seeing that you did something really evil in here. But I think maybe they feel like you were harsh or something. And this is their perception of things. So I don't know, you know, this is like one side of the story that you get, and I don't necessarily see the other side, so it's not necessarily totally an accurate representation of what happened, but it's their version of what's going on in their mind. So I feel like they feel like you kind of broke their heart, and it's like they think what you did is like mean, kind of. And so they have a very negative idea of everything that went down, but they still love you. They still have a lot of love for you and everything. It's just a situation where I think that it's been difficult for them to move on, and they feel that this relationship has taken so much out of them. And I also think that they wish and hope and dream about running into you randomly, or about you texting them. there's this like fantasy that plays out now. I feel like in a way they've been through the sexual fantasies so much, and that was so much of the beginning of your relationship, and they still have this overwhelming sexual desire, but it's almost like I said, it's like a fire that's burned itself out, and all that's left is like the ashes and the embers and the burned out frame, like, and so they don't have as much sexual energy left. Like, it's just like they put it all in, and right now they're kind of rebuilding it, you know, but I think they put a lot of mental energy towards these ideas or these fantasies of like you texting them or you emailing them or you DMing them on whatever social media. They really fantasize about what you would say or you reaching out, and I think that's something they dream about, you know, and they fantasize about. They want you to be the one to put yourself out there, kind of. They really want you to be the one to reach out to them, because I think they feel really debilitated at this time. So they feel like they just don't have the energy to be the one to put themselves out there. But I also think Spirit is watching over this connection and trying to make it happen at the right time. So I don't necessarily know if that's what you're supposed to do, or if this person is going to be able to come forward in time once they've healed their energy a little bit. They do see you as like the center of their universe. They have so much love and respect for you, and it's like a soulmate connection. This is a deep connection. So I've been pulling out these little message cards, and so we got a bunch. No one could ever compare to you. I speak to you through music. I dream about what might have been. I've got a one-track mind. I wish things could have been different, and I've made so many mistakes. So I've got a one-track mind. I feel like that's kind of the most confusing of all the cards. That one is from a Chromeo song. I love it. I'm always, I guess, plugging it whenever this card comes up, which it comes up a lot for sexual readings because it's really about sexual desire. And I think that's the name of the song, One Track Mind by Chromeo. So if you want to listen to that song, that's like kind of the energy, I think, especially of how things were before, because it's all about sexual desire. And like I said, this person's sexual desire really spurs, it's like that's one of the reasons they can't move on, I think, is they just had so much sexuality for you. It's just so overwhelming. But I think this person's just dealing with so much regret towards you. This is like a major relationship. It's you know, I do think there's a soulmate aspect to this, or a soul contract aspect to this. And this person is just like, I feel like they're almost begging you. I don't know what they're begging you, but that's the energy. It's like they're just kind of on their hands and knees, like they just are feeling so, let me try to tune in and ask what they're begging about. I'm getting to love them. They just really want you to love them. I think they feel like you don't love them, and this might be why all the harshness came through. Of they feel like you've been harsh, is it's not necessarily that you like screamed in their face or something, but they just feel like you don't love them as much as they love you. You know what I mean? They might see you as being someone who is into other people, or maybe an ex, and I feel like it causes them a lot of mental anguish. It causes them a lot of stress. They really are beating themselves up. They really are just sad, you know? They're just really sad. I keep pulling these just absent-mindedly, but they all seem to apply. I'm not good enough for you. So yeah, this is such a negative reading, but it's not negative in the sense of like they don't care about you, which would be, I think, more negative in my opinion, but in the sense of they just feel so unworthy compared to you. You guys do have a mental connection and an energetic psychic connection, so I think that this person comes through to you a lot in that way. Whether you're listening to music and suddenly it's like love song about them, love song about them, love song about them, or whatever the situation may be, this person comes through to you a lot musically and also just psychically. thinking about you so much, you know, it's inevitable that you guys will have that kind of psychic connection. And I think, like I said, this is like a soulmate kind of situationship. So a lot of times when that happens, like your higher selves and the angels and, you know, all your spirits will connect you guys on that plane. So even though you guys are separated in life, you are together on the plane, and that's something that the angels will watch over, because I think this, as negative as this reading is, this relationship came into your lives to transform you guys and to make you guys better. And it's just a really difficult chapter in it right now, you know? I mean, this is just one chapter of the book, but this is definitely like the bad part of the book, where like they're lost at sea and no one knows if they're gonna be found, or they're like trapped in a dungeon or something. Like, this is definitely the kind of low point of the story. So I think that that's just something this person is working through, and I do think patience is something that is going to come into play on your end, because this person has to move past this right now. I think they do go back and forth between beating themselves up and being like, oh, I'm such a loser, and also going into blaming you and being like, she was so mean, she doesn't care, she never loved me, or whatever. So it's like this negative space, and I think they're gonna move past that into like more positivity, and then be able to come to you and actually approach you, you know, the way you deserve to be approached, and honestly talk about their emotions, or we hope that that's what will happen, because there's also the aspect of free will. But I mean, it did end with positive movement forward, and I think that this is ultimately going to be a positive transformation. It's just that right now, this is really, like I said, it's a negative chapter, but there's so much love here, and they just really want you to know that. They think you're amazing. Yeah, they think you're amazing, and they just want you to know that. I also think they want you to know that, like, they're sorry for their end. I feel it's more of their higher self saying that, not them, because I think that they would still, you know, portray themselves as like the wronged party. Like, you need to apologize, not them, but their higher self is kind of apologizing. And I think that, you know, I think they have every intention to come for you and to actually move towards you, but right now they're kind of moping and kind of in a negative mindset. But I think once they realize that this isn't the most productive way to be behaving, or thinking, they're going to come around and be willing to, I hope, you know, approach you, honestly. I think that that's something that they'll have to work through themselves also, because I also think they kind of lie to themselves a little bit about, you know, it's all her fault or whatever. And so, yeah, I think that, but there's so much love here, there's so much connection here, and I think that, you know, this is a soulmate relationship, and so the angels are watching over it. And the fact that you've awakened so much deep emotion in them is a testament to how much they love you, and how this was a divine soul connection that is supposed to be taking place. And yeah, I keep trying to wrap up this reading, but this energy just wants me to like keep talking, and they just want to come through to you and just be with you so badly. They're like totally blocking out all the other readings too. It's like they're like, no, let me say all this. And I just think that they just think you're amazing, you know, and they are apologetic, they're apologizing, and I also think they're asking for like time and for you to understand what's going on their end, and that you've brought up all these sad issues that they had about like traumatic stuff or feelings of unworthiness or lack of self-esteem. You brought that all to the surface, but it's actually a positive thing, because once they work through this, they're going to be so much more positive. I think if you guys had gotten together when you were together, it would have actually been bad, because they hadn't addressed all these issues that they had with themselves. And now that you've worked through so much of it, or they've been you're the reason why they've started working through so much of it. Once they finish this work, it's going to be so much better. But I do think you guys are still together on the astral realm anyway, so it's not like you are, it's not like you're, the connection is over and cut off or anything like that. So I hope this helped you guys. If it did, please leave a like or a comment and subscribe. And I will be back again soon with more readings. Bye. Okay, so pile 2, you guys picked the beautiful pink cupcake. So let's get right into your reading. I pre-pulled some cards, which I've been doing lately, and it just goes a lot faster. Okay, so you guys got the 7 of Cups, the High Priestess reversed, the 6 of Cups, the 10 of Cups reversed, the 9 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, Strength reversed, the 4 of Cups reversed, and the King of Swords reversed. So first of all, you guys have a really deep psychic connection that this person is resisting for some reason. They are really fiercely resisting it. I think this person, in a way, they sense that things with you could be very serious, could lead into like a family, like, marriage and kids type situation. And this is something they're actively resisting and not wanting to lean into. This is something that scares them. They definitely see children with you. And I think that the situation, the kind of connection you guys have seems very pure. It seems very almost like childlike in its purity. Like it's very sweet and loving and kind and just a good relationship. But for some reason they are fighting really hard against this and trying to work against it. They don't want to have this kind of connection with you, and it's really kind of upsetting them. So other cards that I pulled for you are, if I can get them, the 7 of Pentacles. Oh wait, is that reversed? I think it's reversed. The Devil, the King of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups, and the Strength card. So, and then let me just put out all the cards. You also got the 5 of Swords, the Moon reversed, the Tower reversed, the 6 of Swords, and Strength reversed. So Strength has come through in all the readings, but reversed both 2 times and then upright 1 time. So you make this person feel very weak. Something about this connection is making them feel very weak. I really feel like this is like a runner energy. I think this person is very kind of scared of the connection you guys have, scared of the feelings you bring out. I sense that this person is working towards some kind of very kind of, like, how do I put it, like a very logical or conventional kind of a path. They want to achieve, I think, financial security, and they had a certain kind of map of their life and where it's going to go. And I think that you've kind of thrown a wrench in that in many ways, or that's how they're perceiving things. Like, they feel like if they're with you, they can't achieve some of the dreams that they wanted to. And so this is something that definitely scares them, and they're definitely not thrilled about it. They're not like, oh, awesome, okay, this is going to disrupt everything, cool. They are actively kind of, I don't know if I would say upset, but they're definitely not pleased with the prospect of having everything disrupted. So let me shuffle some more cards. But I think that this relationship for them is something that they feel really strongly. They're aware that you guys have this deep connection, and it's something that I think really scares them. Really scares them. I can kind of feel that nervousness. It's like they have a certain thing that they're trying to achieve. They're trying to be this kind of a logical, powerful, kind of stoic type person, They want everyone to think that they have everything under control and that everything is in order and that they're trustworthy and kind of dependable, kind of like the type of person that, you know, clocks in at their 8 a.m. job and does a really excellent job and gets commended by their boss and packs up their briefcase at the end of the day and is wearing a suit and tie and then leaves, that kind of a thing. Or it could be if you live in another country, or depending on, you know, different backgrounds or whatever, maybe they are dressed differently. Maybe they're dressed in something else that, you know, is local for you. So maybe in the American South, it would be more like a polo shirt and a pair of nicely pressed jeans. Or if it's in a different country, maybe, you know, maybe like a whatever, you know, kind of local clothing you guys wear. But I think that it's very traditional wherever it is. And this is what this person wants for themselves, is like this traditional life. And I think that you've put kind of a wrench in things. This person, it's like you shake them up more than anything else, you know, and you make them feel like kind of risking it all. I think that the image here we have, which I'm not going to show too much of it, I'll block out this kind of this lady's bottom, but I think that guy, to me, he always looks like a monk, and I feel like that's actually sums up so much of the connection here. This is like, you know, a monk is obviously like extremely you know, by the book and has a lot of rules to listen to, and you make this person feel like throwing it away. You really are their temptation. They kind of, I think, sometimes get into like a resentful thing to you because they see you as so tempting. This is how the devil card is represented in this deck. And you can see it's just this like beautiful woman who is like looking like she's like Dita Monteith or like this is how they see you. They see you as so like tempting to them in every way, but I don't think it's just sexual. I think that they could kind of, like I said, they could imagine a life and like kids with you, but I feel like this is not something that really works in their plans. They could also be in another relationship. We did get the 3 of Cups, which is really the card that you know, for me represents third party situations. And so there could be them being already married or already linked in with someone else. I think for some of you that'll apply, and I think for others, this person is just really linked into like a certain plan they had for themselves. You know, it's kind of like they had plan A and your plan B and they don't want to switch, you know? And I almost feel like this is the kind of person who had parents that were probably like, you have to be a doctor, or you have to take over the family business, or you have to do this career path for some reason. And they push them to like do really well in school and to like check certain things off, and maybe to be like, you know, on the football team, so they'll have the college recommendations or situations like that. And then you've come in and they had this whole plan for themselves for what they wanted to do and what they wanted to accomplish, and now you've thrown a wrench in all of that, and now they're suddenly like, oh my god, like, how am I gonna do this? And it kind of scares them because they never had any intention of going off that path. That's something that they really, you know, have been committed to and wanted to achieve. They have certain ideas of how their life is supposed to go, you know, of the path they want to be on. And then you come in and just totally threw a wrench in it. I also think something coming along really strongly is this person actively resisting their intuition and or a psychic connection that you guys have. You might feel that you have a psychic connection with them, and a lot of times people are like, well, what's a psychic connection? And it's, you know, it comes through from many different people depending on how kind of spiritually aware you are. You might be very aware of it when they tap into you, can like feel it, and you know, but for others, they might be like, what the heck's going on? It might be a situation where you're walking along and you're like, you know, going over your day, like, okay, I have to be here at, 3, and then, okay, so I'm going to call them about this. I have to schedule that. And then suddenly it's like, boom, like it just, like a comet shooting into the ground or whatever, like a meteorite hits the earth, like it just, boom, explosion, everything blotted out of your brain except this person. And suddenly it's like, you know, Steven, or whoever, whatever their name is just all you can think of. And it seems like it comes out of nowhere. Like, it's not like you're like reminiscing and watching a love movie or listening to sappy love songs or reading a romantic book. It's or like driving past, you know, wherever the school you met or the place you work. It's just completely out of the blue. You weren't bringing up these memories, you weren't reminiscing, you weren't trying to go down memory lane, but suddenly it's like all you can think of is this person. That's a good example of it. Another one is you're driving along in your car and suddenly the songs that remind you of that person just start playing on the radio like nonstop. And that's a good indication that you guys have like a psychic connection. And for some of you, you might be more awake and already know like what I'm talking about and, you know, don't need it explained. But that's something that this person is actively resisting. As persons, you know, that part of their brain, they're kind of currently deliberately blocking it. I think they don't want to hear the fact that you guys are kind of, you know, supposed to be together in a way, or they don't want to think about the potential you guys have as like a couple, because I think it would be derailing to them. There's also this aspect of having to make decisions coming through in this relationship reading, and I think that's something this person really doesn't want to do. They're trying to kind of block out that part of their brain and not think about it, you know. It's easier for them to focus on the things they can control and the, you know, things that they've been working for their whole lives and the things that they know. I feel that they're, you know, they're good at those sections of their life. They're good at like figuring out how, you know, what they're supposed to do at work or whatever. They're good at those kind of situations that they've mastered. But when it comes to you, it's like they feel almost like a child or something. Like you've completely and totally shaken them out of that part of their existence, you know, and brought them into like this new awareness. And to them, that's scary. They're not really ready to go there. I do see you guys have the potential to be, you know, like a really amazing relationship. I think that there is this potential for this love relationship that could be so amazing. But I think this person is just really frightened of what it could all be. And I also think that there's concrete things that are blocking you. You know, this person does, I think, has worked towards this. And this is something that if you guys were together could change a lot of things for them, you know? I think that they might be in another relationship, or maybe they are, you know, whether they're married or not, or have like a family and kids and stuff, they are kind of plugged into this other realm, and being with you, I think they think would change it. It could be that they're in a relationship with someone that like fits the mold of something that they're supposed to be, you know? So it could be that they're dating like a coworker or someone who's in a similar field, or someone that just makes a really good impression. You know, like I was describing this person as someone that like puts on a suit every day and goes into work and makes a really good impression on others. And this could be like the female equivalent. And again, switch the genders if you have to. When I'm channeling, you know, sacred divine feminine and divine masculine come through, but switch around the genders if you need to. But I feel like their partner is someone that also is that same kind of vibe. So it might not be a suit. If it's like a female, it might be, you know, a really nice, you know, what's it called, skirt suit outfit or whatever, but you know, like a nice button down with a really nice pencil skirt kind of a vibe. Like this is someone that makes a really good impression and fits into the life that they've been creating. This is someone that fits in with like how they grew up and their culture and stuff. And then you come in and kind of are showing like a complete and total new way of going about things. And I think it really scares them. This person, I think, in some ways, I think that they're actively working against it, but in some ways they think about coming to you and expressing their feelings or about trying this relationship out, but then it's like they feel like they can't. They feel like if they were to do that, that it would jeopardize everything. And so right now they're resisting it. They're trying to, you know, just go on the path they were on, but I think this has woken up so many things for them. This is, you know, you guys do have like, I think for many of you, this is like a past life relationship. This is something that really is special and is kind of a, you know, like a once in a lifetime connection, or something that just is really rare, you know, and I think that you've awoken things in them that they haven't felt maybe ever or in a very long time. And so this is something that, you know, really scares them. I think they feel like you have the potential to kind of ruin everything, which isn't the most like nice thing to hear, I guess, but you know, it's because I think they feel like they've never met anyone that they would be willing to risk it all for, but you bring that out of them, that they would put so many things in jeopardy for you. And that scares them because I feel like they can't, you know, and they have a public persona. The garden is all about public persona and how someone is perceived. And I think that for them, they're aware that being with you would mean a hit to their public perception and would mean a hit for how, you know, how things are going in their life, how they're able to move forward with that career aspect. This is something that's really important to them. They put a lot of work into their career and their persona and how they're perceived and their reputation. And so, you know, this is not something they just want to throw away and be like, well, whatever, I'll just move, you know, countries and rebuild or something, or I'll just move states and rebuild. I'm seeing like 90-day fiance, so for some of you guys, it might be someone in a foreign country or something, or someone who has different cultural like values or religious values, kind of a thing. So it might be a situation where you guys are separated by distance and they would have to actually move. And then for others of you, I just think this would be a relationship where they would have to make so many changes in their life. And you guys might be in the same town, but you know, it would just be like an upheaval in that sense. They wouldn't actually have to like pack their stuff and, you know, put in a moving van and like travel 2,000 miles, but they would have to change a lot. They would have to make decisions and leave certain things and end certain things and choose different things. So, you know, I think that ultimately this person, they might be, for many of them, they might be linked in to another relationship with someone else. And I think that this is something they kind of tell themselves, like, well, we're just not compatible. It would never work between the two of us. You know, they just want to resist your connection. They just really don't want to go there and feel the feelings they're feeling. They just don't want to put themselves out there. I also think you make them feel really vulnerable. You make them question what they've been doing and whether they've been on the right path. I think that this has been something that's actually been a long time coming for them. I think that, you know, maybe they already had inklings before about like, am I in the right career, or am I doing this because my parents want me to do this, or do I really love what I'm doing? Is this really the right fit for me? So this was already kind of a path they were on, but then you came in and like, whoa, sped it way up, you know? You just accelerated everything like 0 to 60, and now they're really, really, really not able to keep doing that. You guys, this is coming through so strong that you guys have this psychic connection between you, but this is something this person is resisting and actively blocking. So I don't know. I mean, usually when you see this kind of psychic connection, it's like a positive. But this person is blocking it. They don't want to feel this way. I feel like they get thoughts of you that come into their mind. And this is a divine psychic connection you guys have on the astral plane. But these thoughts of you and the connection comes through to them, and then they block it. And they'll push you out of their mind, and they'll be like, no, don't think about her. It's like they're not wanting to go there, not letting themselves go there. They don't want to go there. They don't want to think of you as much as they've been thinking of you. It scares them. You know, this is something that I think they've never experienced before. Even if they are in another relationship or they're married or they have a family, they never felt this way about the other person. And this, it's like they see you as like a temptation. This could be someone who's religious or something and really does believe that, like, you know, you are like the temptress, like whoever, I don't know, Eve in the Garden of Eden or something, or like the snake in the Garden of Eden. Like, it's like they're like, oh my God, she's gonna come in to ruin my life. And obviously I know that's not your intention, but this is just like a panic they're going through, because I think that you just bring out so much for them. so much emotion, so many things they never really expected to experience. I don't think they ever thought of themselves as someone who would be in like a passionate love relationship. You know what I mean? I think that they always wanted to like get married and have a relationship in that sense, but they never ever thought of themselves as someone who would like risk it all and throw what they have away for a relationship. It's just not something they ever wanted or idealized or thought was, what they wanted. And so the fact that you've come in and made them realize that they might risk it all for you and that you might be kind of like their downfall, or at least that's how they're seeing it, is something that really, really, really scares them. And I think that they go through in their mind this kind of back and forth, but I think also they're really committed to the path that they're on. They're really committed to the fact that they are focusing on kind of like their career and their job right now, and so it's like they don't even want to think about anything else. But I do think that this relationship has the potential to be really amazing if it was together. This is something that if you guys did get together, it could be a very pure, very beautiful, not like some tawdry affair or whatever they're trying to make it out to be. So we got turn on your heart light. I think that's the message that this person is getting from spirit. They want this person to be willing to open themselves up to the relationship, and they want this person to be willing to psychically accept your connection and connect with you on that astral plane, because that's what you guys are supposed to do. I do think this is a soul contract relationship where you guys made the decision before you came down to this plane to meet up, to change each other's lives, to help in, it might have been that they knew that they would be in this. I'm sure they did know that they were going to be in this situation where they were following a certain path, maybe going off what society wanted for them or what their parents wanted for them. And then they were supposed to meet you and you were supposed to change everything, but they're not willing to accept that and they're resisting that. We also got consider your foundation. I just think that that's what this person is doing. They are, basically that's all they're considering is their foundation and what they've already built. I do think for many, this is someone who has a family or has a marriage or something like that, but family is coming in and they do think being with you would risk their family. Which makes sense, and especially if their family is like children and offspring and a wife or whatever. But it says take a chance on love. When we love, our lives are changed forever. I think that they feel really drawn to you, and this might not be someone. I feel for some of you this is not someone who does have a family. It could just be someone who's actively fighting against the connection. For it could be so many different reasons. I think for most so what's coming through in this reading is that they're focused on their path. They're focused on like getting the bag. I'm hearing they're focused on like kind of getting some money and doing well in their career. And I think that you put all of that at risk, or that's how they see you. And so that's why they're resisting this spell. But I think that they keep coming back to you mentally. They can't kind of run away. They can't run that fast, I'm hearing. Like it's like they try to run away from you, but they just mentally they just keep coming back. You just keep popping into their head and they're just unable to push fully against their attraction from you. We got you are my weakness. I've got a one-track mind and you are my wildest dream. So yeah, I think that ultimately this person feels super drawn to you, but I think that this is something that they just feel not ready for. This person, if they were totally honest with you and with themselves, they would admit that they are so drawn to you and it's like this is obviously something they have to try out. But they keep coming back to this awareness of their family, this awareness of, and I think there's also this sense that now they're questioning their whole life. They're questioning if they made the wrong choice. They're questioning whether they chose right. For some of you, this could have been someone that resisted your relationship and it's in the past because they chose someone else that was like better for them, and now they're realizing, or what that they thought was better for them, like I said, better for their career, better for their reputation, better for like their alliance. I feel like they made the choice, like old kings back in the day, they used to marry like another member of the royal family of like whatever other like European country that would fit into like the trade alliances and whatever. This is like how they decided. Obviously I'm not saying they're a member of the royal family, although if they are, like, kudos, because that's pretty cool. But I think this is really someone who chose their love relationship based on like point A, point B, point C, point D. It's almost like a pro and con list. It's very unromantic, and this is, I think, how they like to live their life, is in a way that is, you know, kind of by the book. And then you've come in and thrown that all out and brought in this new energy, and now they're like, oh, this is what love is. This is how it's supposed to feel. This is how I'm supposed to have butterflies. I'm supposed to be nervous, and I'm supposed to be like looking forward to seeing this person, and I'm supposed to be unable to keep my mind off them. But that's not, I think, something that they've at all have room for in their life. So they're kind of pushing back against it, trying to run away a little bit and trying to just resist and not, they don't want to go there, you know. I'm hearing that, I don't want to go there. And so it's like they just keep running away. They just keep trying to kind of get away from it and just stay away, because it's scary for them, because it really could upend everything they have going on. So, I mean, I feel like between the two of you, you know, there is this deep connection, but then there's also this runner dynamic. I think you bring up so much on this person, and you really make them question everything they've done and everything they have going on, and it's scary for them, and I think it's something they kind of are running from. So for the time being, it might be time to kind of just wait and put a pause on it right now and see, you know, if they come to or whatever, because I think right now this person is just running, but they are going to face an inevitable moment where they have to be honest with themselves. And I think when that happens, it's going to be really interesting to see how they react, because that's going to be, I think, inevitable. Like, they're not going to be able to keep running, you know. That once that happens, it's like game over. You can't keep pretending, you can't keep lying to yourself, because this is what Spirit wants. Spirit wanted them to meet you so that they would realize what they can have. Like, no, you don't have to just do everything your parents want for you. You don't have to just follow the same guidebook that you know, all your family members followed and take over the family business, or go off to college and get this kind of degree. And you don't have to do everything by the book. You don't have to sacrifice yourself. You can have this like amazing love, but they just feel so tempted by you. So again, I feel like it might be also a situation where, like, actively when they're awake, they block out your connection, but you guys have dreams of each other, and it's because when they're in their dream state, their conscious mind is not able to shut down that connection and to blot it out. So it's like that's where they're able to come to you. But this is just something that is so strong, is that they think of you all the time. They intuitively know that this connection is something so special and so beautiful, but then they block it and they push it away because they're afraid of it, they're scared of it, and they don't know what to do, because you could just be a threat to everything they have going on, and that terrifies them. The connection you guys have terrifies them and makes them feel like it's just, you know, it could ruin everything for them, and it could ruin their life. That's what I'm hearing. And they don't really realize that, you know, your life is never ruined. You can always pick a new life. You can always change course, and maybe you were on road A, but it's never too late to turn back and go around to road B. I'm hearing like that poem from Robert Frost, the road less traveled by, I think that's the name, but it's like two roads diverge in a yellow wood, and I took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So I feel like that would be them going back to be with you, and that's something that I feel Spirit is trying to kind of nudge them in that direction. But right now they are trying very hard to stay on the road more traveled by, that everyone wants them to be on, that everyone says it's the safe road, and fighting against this connection to you, fighting against, you know, all the divinity and perfection they see in you, and just being very sexually tempted by you also. So they're very attracted to you, I'll say that. But so I hope that helped you guys. If it resonated, please leave it in the comments and leave a like, and subscribe, because I do post these videos every few days. So if you liked it, definitely subscribe, and I will see you guys around here next time. Bye. Okay, so pile 3, you guys got this lemon lime blueberry cake thing, which looks pretty good. There's some chocolate mixed in, which I'm good on chocolate and lemon desserts, but I'm sure it's good because it looks really tasty. So, okay, let's get into your reading. I pre-pulled some cards. So you guys got the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles reversed, the Nine of Swords reversed, and the Seven of Wands. So first of all, what we're getting here is like a huge influence on finances. So that's something that this person is definitely concerned about because they're bringing it up in the reading. I get the sense that maybe you coming into their life has made them question their financial situation, and maybe what they thought was okay or what they thought was good enough, and now they're looking at it like, maybe I could improve here, and do I need to switch this up there? So I feel like your presence in their life, they kind of see you as this, you know, maybe a little bit bougie of a person, or just someone that kind of deserves the best. They do see also the aspect of competition with others when it comes to you. So I feel like this is something that has kind of lit a fire under them, and now they're in this process of like pursuing and trying to go after money, maybe in a way that they weren't before. Okay, I had a drink. And so you guys also got the Five of Swords reversed. You got the Two of Wands reversed. You got the Devil reversed. The Seven of Wands reversed. The Three of Wands reversed. So many reversals in this deck. And the Two of Swords and Justice. So yeah, I think they really see you as someone that has made them question so much of what they had going on. There was this aspect, I feel, of like a plan that they had before, and now you've come in and kind of thrown a wrench in it. And I feel that they were on like a certain path, or they had certain goals, but now it's being redirected. And they're right now in the process of kind of like changing things and switching them around. And they're kind of not sure what direction to take it, because like I said, they had a plan, they had a goal in mind, and now suddenly meeting you, it's like, wow, they're so drawn to you, and they see you as like this powerful, beautiful woman that deserves everything. And switch the pronouns. If it's flipped, or if you're a guy asking about a girl, feel free to switch that around. This is just when you're channeling, the gender just kind of like comes to you, and it's hard to keep that out of it. But of course, switch it around if you have to. But this is someone that really sees you as like this queen-like energy, and this powerful, beautiful person that really deserves the world. And so for them, I think, you intimidate them. You have brought them into this sudden awareness of what they're bringing to the table. I feel like before they were probably content, like maybe playing video games and chilling, and now suddenly they're like, okay, like how am I going to afford to go to the Four Seasons? How am I going to afford to take her out? How am I going to afford to also do things that build a firm foundation? This person is not just thinking short term. This is about long-term stability. I could see them kind of imagining like a family, or, buying a house together, like those foundational things. And right now they're not at that point. And I think for them, that's a major setback or reason why they feel like you guys aren't together or can't be together. They do see you as so like deserving of luxury and beautiful things, and they see you as so powerful and such a like regal and royal energy that to them it's like they might have been okay with the playing, the playing video games and the going to Burger King, but now that's changed and now they're like, oh God, I gotta bring something else to the table. Even if you would love video games and you would love to go to Burger King and you have your like order on the dollar menu all ready to go, that's not how they see you. They see you as deserving of like the 5-star meal with the Kobe beef and the caviar and the champagne. And so now you've brought in kind of a level of insecurity to them, I think, which is not your fault. I mean, you can't help the fact that like you've got this queen energy going on and this is you. But, for them, that's just what you brought out. I think sometimes it's like if you've ever met someone that made you step up your game, like I know I have had like friendships and relationships where when I first met them, I was like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. And then I'm like, oh my God, okay, let me style my hair extra good today. Let me pick out this outfit. Let me step up let me clean out my car before I like pick them up, and let me make sure I throw away anything that is like, trash in any form whatsoever, even the tiniest little lint ball, and that's kind of the energy this person you brought out to them. Like they really feel like they're gonna have to step things up for you. So you also got the 10 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, which is definitely the energy they perceive you as, and we got it twice. You got the Ace of Pentacles and the Hanged Man reverse. You also got the Hermit and the 8 of Cups. So yeah, this is someone that I think is doing a lot of reflecting right now. You have brought them into this energy of kind of feeling not good enough, but I don't think you should take that as a negative, even though it may sound harsh or it may sound like, oh, you don't want to be mean to them or anything, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that, people come into your life to reset your goals, and that's why we have the Hanged Man, and that's what it represents, is some of these changes are necessary to happen, right? And like you need to come into that period where you're like, wow, I'm not doing as well as I could be doing, to get you to actually meet your goal, because complacency is where everything kind of falls apart. And you guys also just got passion ignited. And that's what I'm talking about. This is something that has made this person realize that they can step it up, that they can be doing better. And so even though I think right now it's probably a little bit uncomfortable for them, and this is definitely, if you guys are not together, which I think for a lot of you, you're not, this is something that this person, what was I saying? What was I saying? I can't remember, but this is what is holding you guys back from being together. This insecurity that you brought out. Like, I feel like this person wouldn't want to pick you up in whatever car they have, if it's like, a Toyota or whatever, they think you deserve a Bentley. So for them, they don't want to take you out and not be able to afford to take you to like the best steakhouse in town or the nicest restaurant in town. They want you, they know and they feel you deserve the best. They want to be able to take you out, like give you a credit card and say like, buy yourself whatever you want for our date, and you pick out like a cute outfit. And I mean, even if it's not that dramatic that they want to have stability, and they feel you're deserving of stability. And I think that the relationship has brought out for them this focus on like foundations. They're focused on like what is going on in their life and what's happening to them, what, not just like, well, I'm just gonna kind of trance out and play video games all day, but they really, really, really now are paying attention to what they're bringing to the table. And I think, in a way, I think they haven't before, because I think with other women or other people, it was kind of like enough. Like maybe they didn't have everything lined up, but it was good enough. But they don't want to be good enough for you. They want to be perfect. They want everything to be, solid for you. I think for them, they're also sensing, the possibility of, like I said, a long-term relationship, something that would be like buying a house together and, making things really solid, not just like I want to hit it and quit it, and not just we're going to have a whirlwind fling in some glamorous hotels, but that's it. But this person is really thinking about how things are going to go long term, and about those long term kind of things that you have to pay attention to, like your credit score, or, the bills on your credit card or your student loans or whatever, all those annoying, boring, long-term things are just coming up over and over. And I think this person is really in like a hustler mode right now. They kind of are wanting you to also be patient a little bit because right now they're having to work on themselves. This is like a building period for them. It's a trial period, and this is about long-term relationships, not something that is just going to work out in, you know, a couple of days and burn out really quick. That's the thing about fire, is it burns quick and hot and then it's out, right? And like this is so much earth energy, and earth is really about solidity. It's really about making something that's solid and is going to last forever. So this is not kind of one of those quick, hot burning relationships that is just going to happen and it's really sexy and it's really fun, but then it's over and whatever. This is about a relationship that they're thinking of as like long-term potential. So let me pull some more cards for you. You guys, they do think, this person really does think that you're a lot better than them, I think. I mean, they do see you as like the Queen of Pentacles. They do see you as this luxurious, royal type energy. You might be the kind of person, the kind of girl, and again, if you have to switch the gender terms around, then please do, whatever the male equivalents. But for females, it might be something like you always have your hair done, or you're always got your makeup or nice clothes. This is how they perceive you. Even if you're like, dude, I walk out the door with like no makeup on whatsoever. They see you as like having the most perfect looking face, and like it must be makeup. She must be putting so much effort into her appearance. They just see you as someone who's like so luxurious, so perfect, and very like methodical and careful. And so they're trying to like step themselves up and bring it to you, but they don't feel capable of it at this time. This card is all about, especially men, taking care of their partners, right? And we have it reversed. This person just does not feel capable of taking care of you in the level that you deserve. I just heard in my mind the phrase that they use in divorce, which is the lifestyle that she has become accustomed to. And I know that phrase because it's like an interesting one they use in legal documents for divorces. Most of the time, what it's talking about is when like a really, really wealthy couple gets a divorce and the woman was like a stay-at-home mom, or she wasn't earning a salary of her own, and so she needs alimony from the wealthy guy to keep her in the same lifestyle that she's had, right? So it's basically saying, if you're used to like getting your manicures done every couple days, and if you're used to getting like your hair blown out at the salon and going to the top of the line hairstylist and going to the nicest shop in town and having a personal shopper and all of that, you can't just go move into like a trailer in a trailer park and just be okay with eating like microwave mac and cheese and washing your hair with like swab, nothing wrong with that. And if that's what someone's up to, like, I think that sounds like a lot of fun. But it's like you can't kind of switch lanes like that, If you're used to living a certain way, it's really hard and it's jarring to go and change your status, especially I think, going from luxury to hardship and having to worry about bills and having to worry about prices. And that's actually something like the courts recognize. Like, it's not just an opinion. Like, the courts say that. And that's why you see people getting $1 million settlements and stuff, is because they know that something like that can be really shocking for a person. So that's why a lot of times alimony ends up getting paid out. And that's what's coming up, because this person knows, I think, that you're used to a certain level of things, or this is how they perceive you, as used to a certain level of like luxury. I just think, even though this is the Justice card, this lady just looks like she has such a freaking luxurious, beautiful like life. She just looks like such a goddess. I don't know, I think she's eating like some exotic fruits or something, but she just looks like she has like a beautiful life. And also Justice, like I said about this person is thinking long-term. Justice does relate to legal matters. So it's funny that legal matters has come up more than once, because I am getting like marriage a little bit. Like, I feel like this person would think about, they do imagine a long-term future with you, and whether they, like, I feel like they dream about not just like getting you in bed. And it's funny because sexuality is actually reversed. And I do think it's because this person isn't approaching you as just like a sexual fling. They're not just thinking about like, oh wow, she'd look really good in this position, and I'd love to see her doing this, and she looks like, you know what I mean? They're thinking about, their fantasies are like, and then we could go to the farmer's market and pick out like vegetables together and cook them at home on Sunday. Like, it's really sweet actually, because their interest in you is not just sexual. I'm not saying they're not sexually attracted, because I do think they are. But I mean, why would they, unless they're crazy, why would they be like imagining marriage if they weren't sexually attracted? But I think that it's about so much more than that. This is about someone that really views you as like, it's like wife material, you know? It's like not just like I want to hit it and quit it, or she'd be a good hookup, but they really see you as like a long-term thing. But I think what's getting in the way of the connection is the lack of money. And it sucks when such a like seemingly stupid thing gets in the way of like a genuine love relationship. And I do think this is like, we did get the love card, and I do think this relationship is really a beautiful, you know, kind of spiritual union. I think that this person and you have like a real depth of connection here. So it's kind of frustrating when something that seems so stupid, like money, gets in the way of like soulmates, you know? It's like, come on, can't someone just give like them, like put it together a fund for like poor impoverished soulmates so they can be together, just throw them all like $1 million or something so they can live happily. But you know, obviously we can't do that. And so it's kind of frustrating that like this is what's coming through, and this is all this person wants to talk about is like the money. I need the money, I need the money. But this is the reality of what's going on in the relationship. This is the reality of what's on this person's mind. I think actually a lot of like the solid issues of how you guys would be together keep coming up for this person. I think it is about money, and it's also about like, we got religious factors, and I think this person is thinking in general, like I said, this is like wife material ringing through my mind. I think this person is thinking about like, how would our families meet up? Would they get along? You know, if you guys have different religions, how would things be religiously? How would we raise them? If they're religious, it's like, would we take them to church on Sunday? Would she be okay with that? But she's this branch of Christianity or whatever, you know. They think about all these things, and it's really kind of funny. I think it's actually really sweet. It's kind of like in The Notebook, how Noah builds that house for her, and it's kind of stupid when you think about it. Like, he's sitting around with a hammer building a house. Like, he must have been thinking to himself, like, am I crazy putting together, like, hammering these nails and painting this? And it seems so stupid, right? Like, he's just like, it doesn't seem romantic at first because he's just building a house. Like, you know, people build houses everywhere all the time, not out of love. It's not like the same as writing poetry or something. But it is really romantic because he's thinking about like the solid stuff. He's thinking about a like future with her. And I think that's what's going on, is this person is just running through their mind about all the reasons that you guys are compatible and all the reasons why you guys maybe not be compatible. But it's almost like they're just hashing out the issues to themselves of like, okay, so her mom might not be okay with that, but, you know, maybe I think she said her dad was this way, or, you know what I mean? Or looking, even if you never had those conversations with them, they're kind of looking through your, like, social media, trying to feel out the vibe, trying to look at, like, your family and be like, oh, okay, so they vacationed here. Okay, well, my family vacations over there, but, you know, I think they would get along because they're both interested in this, that kind of a thing. Like, they just really are trying to think of all the details. I think this is also just a detail-oriented person in general. So, like I said, it's kind of funny to see, like, this person who I think is usually very logical and kind of type A, and, like, overcome with romance. Because instead of, like, I'm such a watery type of person that when I am in love with someone, I think more along the lines of like the poetry and like the we'll be together, and the issues of like, you know, money or credit scores or family stuff like that enters my mind last, because I'm just not like a planner. But it's funny to hear how like a planner goes about it. It's like backwards to me, but that kind of is coming first for them, because I think that's just how they approach their life. So it's like, now that they feel serious about someone, that those seemingly unromantic issues are the ones that are coming up. And it is romantic and it is sweet because it shows how serious they are about you and how much they respect you, because they do see you as just this like incredible prize. And yeah, we got the honeymoon card, finances and career and children. I mean, this person, like I said, I do think they think about kind of marriage and family and really like a long-term future with you. This is not just a flash in the pan. This is not just them even being like, well, she's really hot, but you know, I'm young and I don't want to settle down. Like they're like ready to go to like the chapel, but I just think they're not ready because of the money. The money is something that just keeps coming up, like the money, and they are asking you to be patient. As I said that, we got ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support and be in the present and dream of the future. When we dream, everything is possible. This person really wants you to wait for them. They really want you to be patient with them, because this is not like how do I say the word? An F-boy energy. I'm trying to make it PG, but like this is not just like a Casanova charmer guy that just is going around and saying like, hey babe, I'll be with you later, and doesn't mean it. They really do mean it. They really see a future with you and like long-term potential. And so when they're asking you to wait, this is not someone that's just saying that and then they're like, you know, not working towards it. They really are someone that I think is serious, and they're just not ready yet. They're just not. There's like the reality of, I don't think this person has anywhere near the amount of money that would make them feel comfortable approaching you. We got no one could ever compare to you. And you are my weakness. That's sweet. I wish things could be different. I feel betrayed by you. That's interesting. I need space and time to work on myself. And I feel so unworthy. And please tell me you'll never leave me. So yeah, this person just feels, I think, really vulnerable about you. You know, they're constantly kind of replaying images of you through their mind, and it just makes them feel kind of bad about themselves, but you shouldn't feel guilty about it. It's something that I think they need to work through. Things could have also ended on an acrimonious note between you guys, because there is this element of betrayal for some of you. It's not coming through super strong, and I don't think they're super like angry or hateful towards you. But I think if it did end on like a disagreement or whatever, I think that that's something that they are taking somewhat of personal responsibility for. Even though they may be saying, I feel betrayed by you, I think that's kind of their ego talking, and they're in the process of working through that. And they're kind of aware that they contributed to it. This is someone that I think is trying to take responsibility for themselves, you know, but they're just not really quite at the place. I think they are working towards financial abundance, and that's something that they're focusing on, but they're just not there yet. And I don't think they're willing to, you know, they don't want to like approach you and have some situation where they're like, listen, babe, I know I don't have any money yet, but you know, let's go to the dollar store and let's make like a dinner for $5 or whatever financial situation they're in. They just don't feel financially set for whatever you deserve. They might even be financially well off or okay, but they're not at the place that they think you deserve. They're not at the place where they feel like they can come to you and kind of be on your level and give you what you deserve. Even if you're like, hey dude, I'd be fine with it. That's just not what's coming through here. They really, really, really want to come to you with a lot of money, so that I think then you will like accept them as, you know, a partner, as their equal. Because right now it's just, it's just something that they can't get over. Even if in your mind you're thinking like it's really not that big a deal, to them that's really like their focus right now, and it's holding them back. They want to be able to care for you, to take care of you, and to provide for you. And so the fact that they can't right now is a huge source of frustration to them. And if they're not coming forward, it's because of that. And I am feeling the energy from them is just asking you to wait and asking you to be patient, which I would never usually say in a reading. And of course, you have to use your own discretion and listen to multiple readings to see which ones come through and really resonate with you. But this person is asking for patience, and they are saying that they're trying. And I think that they are on the trajectory towards achieving a lot of things and to getting their finances and money. They're like building. I see like a little like ant, like don't those like worker ants or whatever, they build a nest or something, and they do it all summer. They build a nest for winter. I think there was some like children's book about that or something, and that's what I'm seeing. This person is like really trying to get themselves in order for you, but you're kind of their motivation that they're using. I do feel like you guys have a soulmate, very solid energy. This is really like a really beautiful relationship that has the potential for for a long-term situation. I think something that's really interesting here is, even though I did get I feel betrayed by you and stuff, I really don't get a lot of anger from them, which I love, because I think sometimes when you get some of these cards that indicate that the person has feelings of unworthiness, or there was feelings of like, she's so much better than me, a lot of times it's tinged with like envy or anger or frustration, which is kind of just misplaced hurt. But I love that I'm not getting that. I'm really not feeling any of that. I'm just feeling like I'm working on it. I'm trying. So I love that, because I think that's so much healthier than when people have like unaddressed hurt and they channel it with rage. I'm not getting that from this person. I just feel like right now they've been on this path, and now they're trying. They're wanting you to wait. I think also they were on a different financial path of some kind, and now they've switched because of you. So maybe they were, not taking their job as seriously or something, and now they're really hustling. Or maybe they were, pursuing a different career path that wasn't going to make as much money, but then they met you and they're like, oh, no, I'm going to switch my major, or something like that. Or maybe they were at a job that paid less. Now they're trying to send out resumes and trying to find a new one. But this is someone that you have switched them from their path, and they are kind of regretting certain choices that they made. So it could have also, for some of you, been a difficult ending to the relationship, or that they didn't approach you the way they should have. But I also feel like this person is okay with the fact that you guys aren't together right now, only because they are working on it. And when they approach you, they don't want to come with like a half job done, I'm hearing like the phrase in my mind, come correct or don't come at all. And that's what I think this person feels, is like they need to come correct. They need to come and give you what you deserve. They want to be able to be that provider for you, and to have you have like a luxurious life that you deserve. And right now I actually think they are putting up some kind of boundaries. I feel like for a lot of them, they're not reaching out, they're not communicating, and it's because they're getting everything ready. It's kind of like if you have like a surprise party for someone or something, and you might be like, okay, meet us there at the restaurant. And then in those hours beforehand, when you're getting the restaurant ready and you're holding up, like you're putting up the streamers and you're getting the balloons and you're cutting the cake and you're like organizing everything, all of that stuff, you're not going to be checking your phone. You're not going to be able to call the person and have them vent to you about like, their boyfriend or whatever, or vent about their mom. No matter, even if you guys are best friends, you're going to be going radio silent for that period, because you're like working really hard and you're standing on ladders holding up the posters or whatever, and you're trying to get all the lighting correct and arrange the flowers, and you're just running around super busy. And you're not going to be talking to that person also, because you want them to be surprised. You want them to have the reaction of like, oh my god, I love it. And so I think that this person is kind of in that like worker bee energy of just trying to arrange their life so that when they come to you, you'll be like blown away and you won't be able to say no. But I don't think this person, it's not like a coercive energy. I just think that this person really feels very solid about you. And this is like a beautifully content energy. I feel like this is not, like I said, like a frenzied, desperate. It's very like peaceful and loving, and I just love that. To me, that's just seems so healthy. And so I think it's great that this person is working towards themselves. I think they just do want some time. This is not something that is going to be able to be fixed overnight. This is an energy that is slow moving, and it's going to take time for it to really coalesce and for them to get into the financial place that they want to be in, so that they'll feel comfortable coming to you, and they'll feel like that you guys can be on the same level. You know, right now they perceive you as being the Queen of Pentacles, and they need to make themselves into the King of Pentacles. So they see you as this and they need to get into the male equivalent. But right now they're still at like step 1. We got a bunch of Ace of Pentacles. So they still see you as, you know, they still see themselves as just kind of beginning and on that path and almost there, but not quite. So I just think maybe, you know, give it a little time, but this person does feel very strongly about you. And I think that this relationship is a beautifully complex and deep and loving one. So I think that it is something that's worth waiting for. And, you know, I think that's one of the cards that came up. It is worth waiting for, and it is going to take some time, but this person really is serious about you, really does care about you, and has so much love in their heart for you. But it's just, right now they need some patience from you, and that's what they're asking for. So I hope that helped you guys. If it did, please leave it a like and a subscription, and leave it in the comments if it helped you at all, because I love hearing the details. And I post videos every few days, so subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Hello, Pile 4. So this is your reading. You guys have this beautiful berry colored cupcake. It looks so good. I've never had berries and chocolate before, but you know, doesn't sound like the worst combination. So let me pull out your cards. I already pre-pulled some. So you guys got the 4 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, the 9 of Wands, the Devil, Death, reversed, the 4 of Cups, the Page of Cups, the 2 of Swords reversed, the Queen of Cups, the Star, the 7 of Pentacles reversed, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the 10 of Swords. So first of all, this person is kind of feeling like they have come through a difficult time. This is, you know, a card of them kind of looking back and maybe regretting some of their choices and feeling like they made the wrong choice. There's this aspect of feeling like a sense of loss about you guys. I'm just going to go through all the cards at first. I know there's a lot, but I like to just get them over with because I'm kind of pulling from all. So you also got the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Swords reversed, Strength reversed, the 6 of Wands reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed, and the Page of Wands reversed. So a ton of reversals. I think you make this person feel, to be honest, a little bit insecure about themselves, and there is a little bit of kind of anger or resentment, I think, for that. There is also this aspect of them feeling like they did give you their heart. They tried. They did reach out to you, and they feel like you rejected them. Whether you think that's accurate or not, you know, it's totally like, you know, the saying goes, there's 2 sides to every story, and there's like one side, the other side, and the truth. And this is totally a biased perspective, but this is how this person is thinking through it. They feel like they put themselves out there. Even if you're like, dude, you never even texted me. They feel like that you knew, or that they put themselves out there and they feel rejected. They feel like they lost, and they feel like they didn't measure up, and you know, they feel that you make them feel very small in comparison, you know, and they're feeling right now very weak. I think they you know, they have regret about how things went down. They had these dreams of kind of this family with you. Like, they really saw you as someone who is so amazing. The Queen of Cups energy, I just love her. She's so loving and sweet and creative. And you guys also have this mental connection between the two of you that I think this person is kind of working towards. That they do dream about you. They think about you all the time. And they had these dreams about like being with you and like what you guys would do, you know, and maybe starting a family even. There's that aspect here. Like, they really saw you as just this, that you inspired so much in them and so much fire, and now they feel like they really took an L, and there's kind of sadness there. They feel like this was them, you know. See this guy like all excited, he's got his flowers, he's looking at this female statue and kind of probably imagining the woman he's bringing those flowers to, and that was him. Like, you were always on his mind, you know, and he feels like he came to you. And again, you can switch the genders if, you know, it's reversed and you're the guy asking about the girl, but I just, when I channel, you know, you just go with the divine feminine, divine masculine, because it just comes in so quick. So this was this person. They feel like they put themselves out there. They feel like they, you know, presented themselves to you, and now it's reversed, and they feel so rejected. They feel very small, you know. They feel like they're not powerful because they see you as so powerful and so beautiful and so amazing that you've made them feel small in comparison, you know. And there's also the aspect that they feel like you were maybe a little harsh on them, you know. That's what they're playing in their mind, and whether that's true or not, you know, it may not be, but it's just, that's their perspective. That's kind of like this defeatist attitude they have, and now they feel very like burdened by everything, you know. Like, they feel like, wow, I tried so hard and I got shot down, and it's this negative like loop playing in their mind about what happened between you guys. This might not be how you see the situation at all, but this is how they feel. They feel very defeated. They feel very upset with how everything happened. You guys got the Emperor, the Four of Wands reversed, the Queen of Chalices, the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Cups reversed, the Hierophant, the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Swords reversed, the Seven of Cups reversed, and the Magician reversed. So this person is feeling very disempowered. I feel like you kind of made them feel like a king at first, and then it's like now they just feel like they lost everything almost, you know, and they're just kind of feeling isolated. Like, look at this guy. He looks so negative. Like, look at him. He's like reminiscing. You can see up in the corner there that he has these visions of like his lover and how they were, and he's like, you know, staying up all night dreaming about it, like throwing his paper around, just so sad because he feels this huge loss. And I think that for this person, they feel like what they had with you was so special, so amazing, and they feel now totally rejected, and they feel like it's been ruined, you know. They feel now that you are like a negative influence in their life. And I'm not saying this is accurate, but this is like how they play it in their mind. I think they say that to like console themselves, because they feel like they you know, they're feeling so down in the dumps, and they're feeling so like almost depressed about themselves, and so it's easier to kind of blame you and be like, oh, it was her fault, or she was just a bitch, you know. But I think that it's not accurate in terms of like their actual heart, and how they really would be if they were totally transparent with themselves and totally honest. But yeah, this person is just going through like a negative mindset right now, and their feelings towards you are just, they envisioned everything with you, you know. They really envisioned like the potential for a family. So we got conflict and defeat, and actually I think that was the card that was like flipped, and I saw it when I was picking up the deck, like, how did that happen? And then I put it back in, and they really want you to see it. I was like, should I pull that card, because I don't know how it got flipped. And another one flew out. Movement, choices, and decisions. I feel like this person feels, oh wow, heartache and loss. There's always one of these there's always one of these readings where it's just like super depressed energy. And, you know, I guess this is it. This person just really feels like they lost things with you and they're upset about it. You know, you make them feel like weak almost. And it's making them not sure of even how they can move forward or how to proceed or how to approach you. You know, that's just like almost the last thing in their mind right now. Moving on is reversed. Disruption. This is just a really, you know, hard time for them, I think. It's actually kind of sad feeling this energy because they do, I think, they see you as so amazing. And right now they're in a really negative mindset and they just, I think partially they blame it on you. Like there's this anger or hurt aspect where they kind of put it on you like it was your fault, you know? But I think that's just their ego talking because they don't want to admit, you know, that sometimes things just don't work out. One of my favorite sayings, and I love the poem it comes from, which is an amazing poem. You can Google it if you, the whole poem, I forget, it's super long. So I don't have it memorized, but you can Google things fall apart. And the poem, the original poem, there's like a book that someone made. I think it was Ta-Nehisi Coates, but anyway, there's a book called that title, but I'm talking about the original author of the poem. You can look that poem up. It's so good. But I love the saying, things fall apart. And I feel like that's something that we all have to admit. Sometimes things just, you know, go bad in life. And it's kind of no one's fault. But this person, I think, is blaming you. And they're really upset with you. And actually, I think that book is definitely not by Ta-Nehisi Coates. So just don't get mad at me. I forget who it was by. But anyway, it's an amazing poem. I have not read the book, if you can't tell, but yeah, that'll come up on Google. But look for type in "Things Fall Apart" poem, and I feel like this person is just, you know, they're trying to work through it. They're trying to get to a better place, but it's almost like they have so many overwhelming thoughts of you. They see you as so perfect that it almost is like making it worse for them because they don't have boundaries about it. They don't have a healthy way to tell themselves, like, listen, yeah, she's amazing, but you're amazing too, you know? And this really, they want to come to you. We've gotten so many cards about this. They want to come to you and really, you know, be that man that you need and be on your level. They really dream of the Emperor energy and, you know, accessing that energy and being in that energy and wanting to come to you as a man and being, you know, this powerful person. But it's just not something that they can do right now. They're in such a negative place in their own head that it's kind of all they can do to survive and to just continue to, you know, be somewhat positive themselves. This is just a really difficult time for them. It's a really hard thing that they're going through. And I think that for them, you know, you're something that also keeps them going. They have, like, you know, such a hard time with everything that's going on, but then the thought of you is always kind of keeping them, motivating them. They, you know, they dream that, like, maybe one day somehow you guys could end up together. But I think there's a lack of, like, action on that. There's a lack of actually, like, okay, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to do something about it. But I think they're constantly thinking about it. And I do think they may reach out to you soon, you know. I just think this person feels really negative. They could also be dealing with drugs and alcohol and stuff. But they're just not, you know, they're kind of working on themselves a little bit. I think also for some, it's not that they're depressed. It's just that when it comes to you, for some, I feel like this could be depression, this energy. But I think for others, this is just when it comes to you, they're upset with how things happened, you know. They also feel a really spiritual connection with you. They feel like you guys communicate telepathically on the spiritual realm. They feel that you guys have a deep connection that goes really far beyond the physical plane. And so for them, you know, that's something that means a lot to them, but it also has made them really sad that you guys aren't together. Like, they've never felt this level of connection before. And so the fact that you guys are separated, I also think there's a lot of feelings of maybe regret for how they handled things. They feel like they messed up and they didn't become that man that you needed, you know? And I think that they want to change that. I do think they're actively thinking about how they can fix things. They're actively thinking about finding a way to transform this situation into something more positive so that it's not just ending on this note of like loss. They would like to have the story rewritten, you know, so that there's a happy ending, so that it's a love story and not a tragedy. They don't want it to be like Romeo and Juliet. This is like a really powerful, amazing relationship that they feel is super impactful to them. There's this aspect of psychic connection that has come through in each of the card pulls we've done. So this is someone who really does, you guys do talk on the astral plane, and I feel they also get a lot of support from you on the astral plane. And you're probably already aware of what they're going through on a certain level. You're aware that they're in a negative mindset and that they're kind of beating themselves up, but like there's not so much you can do, you know, and no one should like lower themselves to make someone else feel better, because I think that this person, you know, they admire so much how powerful you are and how healing you are, so they don't want you to change. They don't want you to try to make yourself feel smaller so that they can feel better about themselves. Right now, they just need to kind of take this L and work through it. Yeah, as I'm saying this, I got be supportive. I just think you supporting them on the astral plane means so much to them, you know? We also got be authentic. Be real and true to who you are and how you feel. I think this person values your authenticity. They value your honesty, and the kind of person that you are is like, you're like an honestly supportive person. You're an honestly, genuinely sweet person. And that means so much to them, you know. They know that when you have concern for them, you're not faking it, or when you're like, oh, I'm sorry that you're going through this. You're not just saying that as like an empty platitude, you know. You really do care about them, and they can tell. They feel that from you. So we got a bunch of cards here. We got forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. Physical touch. A tender touch can mean so much. Like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. And turn on your heart light. Reflect on a time when you experienced love. I feel like this person loves the fact that you guys talk on the astral plane and that you guys have this spiritual, divine connection. And that's something that means a lot to them. I think this person is probably a spiritual person themselves, whether they're directly spiritual and engaging in actual spiritual practices or going to church or whatever or not. They might not consider themselves a spiritual person. They might be like, oh, I don't believe in anything. But they actually are, and they're very spiritually aware, and I think you guys do talk and like hang out on the astral plane, and really that's where you guys, your souls go up there, you know. And so even though this person is kind of in like this defeatist self attitude, they know that you have brought so much to their life, and they know that they've benefited from coming into contact with you, and they're really grateful for that, you know. I really feel that they have so much love for you that's really deep. It's actually very touching to feel it. Wow, we got I need you. That's just so much of the energy, I mean, I get from this person. They really look up to you and they do need you. I feel betrayed by you. Hard to do all these, like I'm having to contort my hand. I need space and time to work on myself. I wish things could have been different. I've got a one-track mind. Let's see, do we have any more messages for group 4? You are mine. So a lot of times when I've got a one-track mind, this is about a sexual connection. And that is something that I've definitely sensed here, is like a heavy sexual attraction, which a lot of times spirit will use extreme sexual chemistry to introduce a soulmate relationship. So you're like, why am I so drawn to this person? And why? It's because a lot of times when someone is maybe like a little bit unevolved, for us who are spiritually evolved, not to, you know, brag, but a lot of times we'll know when we meet someone, we feel that like click of like, oh, this person's important, or we can read their energy. But a lot of times when someone is not kind of as, it sounds so snobby, but I don't mean it snobby, but you know, just hasn't accessed that part of themselves yet, and they're maybe not as spiritually evolved, or as that card said, their heart light isn't on yet. Spirit will use a heavy, insane sexual attraction to keep them coming back, to keep them putting up with like the difficulties of the relationship. They will have them just be so drawn and so turned on by someone, and they're almost like, this, what the heck? Like, yeah, this person's really attractive, but you know, I've seen a lot of attractive people, but there's something about this person that I am obsessed, you know? And that is a lot of times how spirit uses sexuality to draw us to someone, and to maybe make us put up with things we wouldn't usually put up with. Like, maybe usually be like, I'm out after the first time someone like, you know, was like a messy eater on a date or something. You'd be like, oh, bye, I'm never coming back. But the person's a messy eater and you're like, I don't care. I'm still so into this person. It doesn't matter to me. And so I think that in this case there is a sexuality aspect, but there's also the one track mind, which that's the Chromeo song. I always shout it out because it is a great song. And it's like a sexy song, but I also feel this is so much deeper. This is really this person, like I said, you guys have this mental, spiritual connection on the astral plane that just keeps this person drawn to you and keeps them coming back and keeps you drawn to them. So this is like you guys are hanging out up there. You guys may not be in contact at all on the physical plane, but on the astral realm, you guys are like together 24/7. And I think astral realm wise, you're guiding this person through their journey and encouraging them. I do feel like this relationship is a twin flame or soulmate connection where you guys knew each other in the past and made that soul contract to come back in this lifetime and help each other out. So I think that when it comes to this relationship, this person is growing, and they recognize and are thanking you for your role in helping them grow. But it's just that right now they are too negative mentally to make this relationship work and to come to you with the energy that it would require to really hash things out, you know? I think that they are so, like, they're going through a really big growth period, and this is going to be so positive for them. And I think you have sparked so much of this growth, and they are so grateful to you for that. But it's just that they have to deal with this stuff. A lot of this stuff has nothing to do with you. A lot of the negative stuff has nothing to do with you. It's like childhood issues, and it's like, you know, there is the childhood issues that's come up multiple times, and it's, you know, stuff that happened in their past that they never really dealt with, never really healed, and they're having to heal it now. But you brought in this kind of tower moment that has really helped them heal, even though it was unpleasant. So even though sometimes this person is negative or goes to a place like consciously where they're like, oh, she's a snob that she wouldn't be with me, or they blame you because they do feel like they did try to come to you in as much of a way as they could as that gentlemanly chivalrous figure. I feel like in their ideal world, they would have been able to do so much more. And that's what they want to work through now. But in a way, it's like they didn't have that goal before. They thought they were doing okay. And I don't feel like this is someone that, for most of them, and it might not resonate with everyone, but I feel like for a lot of the people, this is someone that maybe has dated, you know, before. This is not just some lonely person that has never had a relationship, but they never felt the inspiration to change like this, you know? You have brought out this side to them that now it's like they need to change. They're willing to change. They never knew there was a problem before, but now they know they have to step things up to be with you. And I feel that you're like a spiritually advanced person, and they're thanking you for that, and they're also like just respectful of that. Being around and in your presence has made them realize how far they have to go, and that they really have so many things to improve. Whereas before, I feel like they were getting by, things were fine, and they didn't really feel the need to change. They were like, change? Why would I change? Like, everything's good. but being around you has made them realize, like, okay, I need to fix this, that. And of course, that's kind of a hard moment to come to. And there is a tiny bit of like resentment of like, well, why should I have to change? But they're ultimately happy to do it. And they know they're growing positively, but this is just a really difficult time. And I think that they do feel sometimes upset by the fact that you guys aren't together. Like, they just want to be with you, you know, and they're upset that they haven't been able to. They know that the reason they're not together on a soul level, they know this, is that they have more work to do, and they need to come to you with the same energy. And this is why we got like attracts like. This is because they need to come to you and be the spiritually evolved person that you are. You're in the Queen of Cups energy. You are mature, you know, and this person is like Page of Cups still. So Page of Cups, you know, they're at the beginning of this journey. They are not in the royalty energy yet. They are spiritually attuned, but I don't think they have anywhere near the wisdom and spiritual knowledge that you do. And so it can't really work that well right now because you guys just have too different of energy. And at your core, you guys are both so similar, but I feel like you've done a lot more spiritual work to get to this powerful royal place that you're at. And this person is beginning their journey, and they need to get there. And I think they are working to get there. They're at the start of this, but for them, it's just going to take a little bit of time. I think you are still with them on the astral plane, and I think that there could be a time before too long when they're capable of coming to you and they're capable of approaching you, even though you guys still won't be exactly on the same page, and you'll still be the queen, and it takes time for them to get to the king level, so they probably won't reach that quite yet. But, you know, maybe they'll be able to be knight, or like someone else working in the castle, like, you know, the advisor or something. I don't know. I mean, I didn't live in the Middle Ages, and I don't know all the titles and stuff, but maybe they'll be able to be like a lord or a count or something. I mean, again, I don't know. So I know all the British people are probably cringing about that description of royalty or status or titles, but might not be able to get to quite king level, but they might be able to get to closer to you, so you guys will be able to be compatible, and you guys will be able to be a match, even if it's not quite exactly on the same page. So I think that that's something that could happen, you know, not too far off in the future, that you guys would be more matched energetically. But this is just someone who's going through growth, and they are, you know, grateful to you for everything you're doing. I think that you guys do talk on the spiritual plane, and that means so much to this person. This is like, I feel a very deep connection, you know, a soulmate connection, and you're giving so much to them, even if you're not aware of it. You're really giving them so much energy and helping them heal, and they're just so grateful for that, you know? And so even though sometimes it does make them feel insecure, it's like they know, it's kind of like when you first try out for soccer and you see the other soccer players, or you first start playing it, and you see the other soccer players and they're like running around, and part of you is like, damn, why are they so good? And it makes you feel bad about yourself, but you know that in order to become that like amazing soccer player, you have to start small, and you have to like, this feeling you have of like, wow, I'm not good enough, is part and parcel of growing and getting to that stage. So I think that they understand that spiritually, but sometimes they do have a little resentment towards you consciously, but unconsciously, you know, they brush it away, and they know that this is for their benefit, and this is a divinely guided connection that, you know, they are so grateful and thrilled to have, and it means so much to them, and it's just going to help them especially grow, and they're just really in awe of you. You know, they think you're just such a special person, just such a powerful energy, just like a queen energy. And so they, you know, and also just like a spiritually advanced energy, an energy of someone who is kind and is psychic and all these amazing watery qualities. And I think that they find that so attractive about you. That's one of those things that, like I said, they probably have had some other options, but you're the one they just keep going back to. They just can't move away from you, because you are not just like that pretty face or that or smart or a good personality or whatever. You just have this divine power to you, this spiritual power that they're able to connect with, and they just love it. It's like kryptonite to them. They like can't get enough, or like a drug, you know, and they do feel a little bit addicted, and I think that spirit uses that as fuel to keep them coming back, because it's like, come on, you gotta get, you know, better at these spiritual things, and you've got to work through some of this trauma if you want to get the candy or the drug or whatever, and that drug is like you. So yeah, I hope that helped you guys. If it did resonate, please drop it in the comments. This is definitely an interesting energy, so I would love to hear about your specific dynamic if it does apply to you. And make sure to like and subscribe. I post every few days, so if you want to see more of these videos, definitely subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!